Then they blame the Christians and the current ideologies and offer the New Age solution. This is what Acharya, the Theosophist, is promoting here. She says, quote, "But the future is now, and the maneuvers are being unveiled. As far as Christianity's role in this new age," Carpenter states, quote, "Christianity, therefore, as I say, must either now come frankly forward and acknowledge its parentage from the great order of the past, seek to rehabilitate that, and carry mankind one step forward in the path of evolution, or else it must perish. There is no alternative." Despite the vilification of the so-called New Age movement, the fact is we are entering into a new age. The age referred to in the gospel tale is that of Pisces, and through contrivance and duplicity, coercion and slaughter, the fish god Jesus, the Piscean solar avatar, has indeed been with us. But now it is the close of the age, and his time is over. As Hancock says, we live today in an astrological no man's land, at the end of the age of Pisces, on the threshold of the new age of Aquarius. Traditionally, these times of transition between one age and the next have been regarded as ill-omened. Ill-omened verily as the ongoing destruction of the earth, and the endless warfare over ideology will indeed produce the Armageddon so long awaited and planned by those who cannot live for today but must look towards an afterlife. By realizing the cultural unity revealed behind the Christ conspiracy, however, humanity can pull together and prevent this fall to create a better world. Ladies and gentlemen, the New World Order has no intention of creating a better world. They are just baiting the public with empty promises of a New Age utopia. In reality, the elite are vicious. They are the ones who cause the wars. They are the ones who assassinate the real truth seekers. They are the ones with the wealth and the power who attend Bohemian Grove and do the satanic rituals. It's time to wake up and know your enemy. The New Age will be manufactured in order to unify the world. This is what 2012 is about. That is why that is being pushed on the public so profusely. Don't fall for it. In agreement with Blavatsky with respect to Satan, Acharya S. states, "Perhaps the devil brings peace and not a sword to humanity. Considering how many people have been killed in the name of God and not the devil, maybe the world is worshipping the wrong entity." Acharya S. has other deep connections to this agenda. She edited the book Sex and Rockets, The Occult World of Jack Parsons, Aleister Crowley's top American protege. And here she admits it. On Yahoo Groups, January 30th, 2006, she says, quote, "Hey, I bet you didn't know I edited John Carter's Sex and Rockets, all about Jack Parsons, Hubbard, Crowley, etc." In fact, Acharya's claims about Horus, where she externalizes this Illuminati view that Christ is the sun god instead of later pagans corrupting certain things, have infiltrated the minds of the major media outlets. This New Age theosophic view has been officially externalized on major daytime television broadcasting. Bill Maher, on the show The View, brainwashed by this Illuminati falsehood, unknowingly externalized the Illuminati belief to the public.
Tell them about what you learned. This movie teaches you so much about different religions. For example, the story about Jesus and Mary and Joseph is a story that has been told before. Tell that story.
Tell that story. Well, God had a son,
like Jesus told it.
And he said, "Jesus, I'm sending you on a suicide mission. But don't worry, they can't kill you because you're really mean."
Wait a minute. That story is not original with the Christians.
A God who was born on September 25th, okay, who was
December 25th.
December 25th, that exact birthday.
Right.
Okay. By the way, the church did not set that birth date until the year 349 AD.
Sure.
So,
there are a lot of things that were set up by man in terms of
right. Okay. But the God who was born of a virgin, died, was resurrected 3 days later, died for everybody's sins.
Right.
That was an old story going around the Mediterranean for 1,000 years. Horus is an Egyptian, exact same story. He raised somebody named Lazarus from the dead. Mithra, a Persian god. Krishna, the Indian god.
The lies that Maher was telling have been refuted by the experts already, many of which I personally contacted and whose works I have studied. I wish I could go in depth on all these assertions, but there's no need to respin the wheel, and I don't have the time for that in this film. However, this one assertion he made comes from Acharya's book, The Christ Conspiracy, page 115, and that is that Horus also raised a Lazarus from the dead. Acharya S. states, he performed miracles, exorcised demons, and raised El Azarus, or El Osiris, from the dead, unquote. First of all, Lazaros is the original Greek name for the English Lazarus. This is not similar to the Greek word Osiris that was translated from the Egyptian Asur, meaning mighty. Acharya is either plagiarizing from the Druid Gerald Massey or else from Kuhn's radical etymologies, which suppose that somehow the Arabic, Aramaic, and Hebrew languages influenced the Greek translation of the Egyptian Asur in order to make biblical Lazarus come from the name Osiris, which there is no evidence of. In fact, that nonsensical theory requires that the El article, meaning the, from the Azarus, or El Azarus, being adopted from the Arabic or the Hebrew, when in fact Lazarus is a Greek word, Lazaros, and the actual Hebrew etymology destroys the view. In fact, let me quote from someone else who can explain this a little bit better than I can. Commenting on that poor theory is Stephen J. Bedard, Masters in Theology, New Testament, Early Judaism, and Master of Arts in Biblical Studies. He states, quote, another person named Lazarus also appeared in Luke 16 verses 19 to 31. The fact that the name Lazarus was used in a story where a resurrection was explicitly denied proves that the name was not created to illustrate the fabled resurrection of Osiris. The traditional explanation that Lazarus is from the Old Testament Elizar, meaning God has helped, makes much more sense, unquote. So indeed, these etymological gymnastics required for Acharya's false view are staggering. Now you must realize that the whole point of claiming that Christian belief existed before Christianity is meant to do two things. One, externalize the nature of the mysteries as promulgated by the elite to the public, just as Alice Bailey commanded. And two, to try to weaken people's faith in Christianity with falsehood, whereby the confused person is vulnerable to the New Age solution that is by default what many people accept. Notice many people left Christianity to join the Zeitgeist movement, which is basically people begging for the New World Order. Yeah, the Venus Project, yeah, right. Yes, Jesus is just Pisces and we're all heading for this new age of Aquarius, yeah, sure. Do you see the agenda, ladies and gentlemen? Don't fall for it. That's the nature of the beast. Very deceptive indeed. If you are not persuaded that Acharya S., Maxwell, Zeitgeist, and Tsarion are making you believe exactly what the elite want you to believe, Edward Duff in the Social Thought of the World Council of Churches cites an Illuminati family endowed survey, namely a Rockefeller endowed survey, chaired by Professor W.E. Hawking. It states, quote, a Rockefeller endowed survey, chaired by Harvard's distinguished philosopher, Professor W.E. Hawking, concluded that Christianity is merely the highest of the high religions, a stage in the universal quest for righteousness, a precious component of the religion of the future that will represent the New Testament of every existing faith and serve as the soul of a coming common world culture. Indeed, what this means is that they will use a distorted version of Christianity, i.e. astrotheology and the age concept, to bring in the New World Order. Thus, the New Age operatives are doing a damn good job of externalizing the New Age to the public, thus making the New World Order seem appealing. Peter Joseph, the producer and leader of the Zeitgeist movement, is obviously a New World Order agent. He is a prime example of externalizing theosophy and Illuminati belief to the public. Notice he just popped up out of nowhere, knowing how to make theosophy and the UN agenda seem appealing. For example, Joseph is all about the consciousness, the whole consciousness, and this esoteric knowledge, combined with the Utopia Venus Project system, right? In the following clip, Joseph does four things. He first claims we are all pure spirituality. Second, he promotes the theosophic aspect of this whole consciousness. Third, he talks about a collective consciousness of humanity resulting in a utopia or paradise dawning. And four, he makes it seem like the only other alternative to the theosophic solution is war, manipulation, and division. Again, the same argument that Maxwell and D.M. Murdoch used. Order out of chaos scheme. In other words, the New Age utopia will cure the current corruption. But what he doesn't tell you is that the people at the top advocating the same New Age as him are the ones who are orchestrating the current wars, corruption, and manipulation.
You know, we're all pure spirituality.